Jeff, good morning. Well, things are already really busy here at the Palm Springs International Airport. We heard from neighbors that they woke up this morning to the sound of flashbangs. That all started around 6 this morning. The investigation has been centered on this home here. Right now, we're in the burn scar, and this is what officials are worried about. These steep hillsides with that charred landscape that can come rushing down in just a matter of minutes. This is where that deputy-involved shooting happened. In the video we're about to show you, you'll see deputies taking cover behind these pillars before confronting the suspect right here in this courtyard. Just a few weeks ago, firefighters who battled the Apple and El Dorado fire were here using this historic property as a base. They say it was absolutely heartbreaking to return to fight this fire. We will be going back to a stay-at-home order closer to what we saw back in March. And we've heard from restaurant owners in particular frustrated by this news. Many of them have spent thousands of dollars creating outdoor makeshift areas like this. People can experience all kinds of exotic animals here at the fair, including my new friend Paco the sloth. Neighbors waking up this morning, police serving search warrants in 5 separate locations in connection with recent crime here in North Palm Springs, including last week's double homicide. We're learning new details about what exactly happened here. Take a look at this twisted metal. That big rig overturned. We're back at the fairgrounds. Remember, this is the same site where last week the National Guard was here setting up that emergency mobile hospital. And now they're adding a new resource, drive-up testing. The steep terrain out here in Cherry Valley up in these mountains creating a challenge for firefighters. You can see how the fire is climbing up that ridge right now. I spoke with a group of Valley Uber drivers. They tell me they used to pick up passengers all day long. We start with breaking news today at noon. A plane making an emergency landing on 1,000 Palms Road. We just got an update from firefighters. The fire burning 400 acres in just the last few hours. Our team also just learning that one firefighter has been injured. Some good news this evening. Evacuation orders have been lifted for the rock fire, although firefighters are still out here working to contain some of those smoky areas. I spoke with one family returning today, just grateful their home is still standing. Firefighters working tirelessly to get the rock fire under control. The fire fueled by windy conditions. Burning more than 295 acres in this rural neighborhood in Anza.
Flames, like they were so visible. There was like, it just looked like it was next door.
Shaken families returning home Wednesday morning to white fences painted pink from fire retardant dropped from the sky.
Still got our trailer, can't believe it.
Lacey Evans, Peter Hernandez, and their 2 children evacuated overnight, frightened as the fire crept closer and closer to their home.
Daddy went outside and saw a big fire going on.
Packing up in only minutes the things that mattered most.
We didn't know how much time we had, so we grabbed our most valuables and our photos and big memories, and we just kind of loaded them in the car.
They returned to their home intact, but could see the charred, smoldering evidence that the fire was in their backyard.
Flames slowly crept up and touched the edges of our property over here.
Other neighbors were not as fortunate. 4 homes and 7 outbuildings were lost in the fire. As crews continue work to restore power to the area, families here thankful for continued efforts to stop the fire's spread.
So grateful, oh my gosh.
Madison Weil, News Channel 3. It's an experience that most people cannot even imagine. Confronting an intruder inside your home and then fighting for your life. Today I met Henry and Renee Fraley, a mother and son who shared their harrowing account of surviving an attack from a man that police are now calling a murderer.
The world seems to have gone mad, but I never expected it in my own home.
Renee and Henry Fraley were both sound asleep inside their Palm Desert home on the night of August 15th.
I woke up to get a bottle of water around 4:20 in the morning, and when I left my bedroom door, there was a man in front of me.
Henry, Renee's son, walks me through what happened.
Yeah, he came in through here, tried the doorknob.
After entering through the garage door, the intruder met Henry in the hallway outside his bedroom.
There was a man standing right here, and so close that I could touch him. And in fact, he reached out and punched me right in the face.
I opened the door to hear him yelling that there was an intruder in the house, to call 911, and to give him the gun that is in my room.
Henry says at that point, the intruder fled their home. They didn't know if he had ever been caught or identified. When I arrived at their home on Friday, I shared the man has now been identified as 31-year-old Luis Flores Cantor, the same man suspected of killing 2 Palm Springs residents while burglarizing their homes earlier this year.
I'm so glad that you came by and, broke the news.
Yes, we had someone come into our home, and yes, my purse was taken, but to find out that he was a murderer.
They share that Henry has lived in New York for a decade.
Who knows what could have happened?
In a rare moment, they say the pandemic a blessing because it meant he was by her side during this year.
To have my life and to have Henry here, that was just God's will that he happened to be with me.
In Palm Desert, Madison Weil, News Channel 3.